Every bike rack fits every car differently, so today we're focusing on how the Saris SuperClamp fits specifically on the 2021 Buick Enclave. This is going to be a unique fit because of how this hitch is installed in the vehicle right by where that spare tire is. So you're going to have a taller and closer to the car fit. So for the Saris SuperClamp, if you were wondering how this will fit your car, and if your car has a setup like this video might be helpful for you. Now, the very first thing when it comes to how this functions is most of your functions are still going to be there except for the tilt away. Because of how the SuperClamp doesn't quite tilt that deep, if you wanted to open up your hatch door and you have a mountain bike or just a larger bike, we'll open this up manually. We could almost open up the door, but not quite. Now, if you had, let's say, those smaller pedals, you might have a better fit there. You can still kind of reach in and grab stuff out of the hatch, but that's going to be something that you will experience with most bike racks if you have this style of a hitch. Now, the good news is that everything else is there, including you can open up that hatch door when your bike is off, and this is folded up, which is one of my favorite features of this rack. Now, what type of bike are you carrying? Because that will also affect how this will fit. We have a really good weight capacity, 60 pounds. This fits your mountain bikes, your road bikes. And since this has 0 touch points on the frame, if you have fenders or if you have different types of carbon fiber frames, you don't want to scratch anything up, then you're fine because it secures your bike by the wheel. So to take the bike off, I start by the rear wheel. I just remove that strap. This strap also slides out, so it's out of the way of the spokes. And then we come over to the front. I hold onto the bike with one hand, press this button with the other one. You would not be able to press that lever if this was locked, so it's nice to know there is a locking function. So press that, lift up, and release when we get to the bottom. So it just scooches up right up to the tray, and now all I need to do is grab the bike and go. So compared to some other racks where I may have to bring that arm all the way on over, that's not something that I have to do with this one. Now, if you look over at the cradle, you'll notice that it actually can be adjusted for your different types of bikes. So if you have, let's say, a larger wheel or a smaller wheel, you can adjust that cradle in and out, this back part over here, and that will be helpful for those different types of bikes. This arm also only goes as high up as that angle, so that angle works with this cradle to create that good fit on your rack for your bikes. So with all that being said, this is going to be a bit more of a compact bike rack, so it won't take up as much space behind your car. So if we start for ground clearance, if I measure from the end of the rack to the ground, that's going to be 26.5 inches. So that's pretty high up, and most of that is because of our hitch. Our hitch sits 18.5 inches up and off the ground. If you got a different hitch on your Enclave, one that installs underneath the vehicle, you may have lower and further distances that you get to work with. The next measurement is going to be how much length does this add behind the car. So if I measure from our bumper to the end of the rack, that's 26 inches, so definitely compact. This rack does fold up. You pull that lever, and then you push up, and this goes from 26, and it now measures to about 18 inches past that bumper. This is helpful if you need to get access to the hatch. You have your bike rack loaded up, and you're just going around town. You can see the door opens up, 0 contact with that rack. That's actually something you don't quite get with most 2-bike platform racks, and it's something unique to the SuperClamp design. Yeah, so as long as you have a 2-inch or even 1.25-inch hitch receiver on your Buick Enclave, this is going to be what the SuperClamp bike rack looks like. It is a bike rack designed to stay on your vehicle, but is also easy to take off and reinstall if you want to. Tool-free process, it locks, it has everything you may need to carry around your bike safely and securely. So if you have any questions about the bike rack, you can check out our product page. We have all that information. But if you were mainly curious about how this rack fits on your specific vehicle, this is a look at the Saris SuperClamp bike rack on the 2021 Buick Enclave.